but you can't play scared poker.
I don't want to beat you. You got a
Big
lot of
hand
money.
there. I made a big lay down.
Big flop. Big draw.
I had 10.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
My 10 was good. Was it good or no?
What do you
It wasn't a good 10.
A lot of tennis players in the game. Seems so odd. Patrick Antonius was a former tennis player. I know Gus Hansen was a tennis player. David Benjamin, a tennis player. What is it with athletes that turn to poker players?
I think that being an athlete and being competitive gives you that drive, that mental urge to win, and it carries over on the green felt just as well as it does on the court.
So, Robert, what sport did you play?
I was actually an all-state basketball player, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Looking at me now, you look like I'm hiding basketballs.
600 to call. Raise to 1900.
This time Zygmunt picks up a real hand. He's got the Snowmen. Oberstad with 10-9.
For people living in warmer climates, Snowman referring to the 2 8s in his hand.
Call.
Oberstad calls, and Benjamin picks up another big hand in the blinds, this time ace-queen.
74.
I suspect we'll see at least a 3-bet here.
We raise to 7,400.
And sure enough, there's another 3-bet. We just saw this. It's like deja vu. This time, instead of the 4-bet, you got the raise from Zygmunt, the call from Annette, and a 3-bet from David Benjamin.
7,400 total.
This time, though, I'm not sure if Zygmunt's going to fold so quickly.
No, matter of fact, he might actually consider a re-raise here in this spot. Well, I guess he's considering the call.
Call.
How much you play?
7,400 total.
Maybe 60.
Zygmunt calls, and is that going to bring in Oberstad now?
It very well could, and that's checking out the stack size of David Benjamin.
Well, she's getting a little bit more than 3-1 on the call, plus implied odds. By the way, implied odds.
Pass.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, when you have the right implied odds, it means it's not what you can win right here on this hand. It's how much can you win on later streets, how much in the overall pot you can win in this hand.
All right, if you hit your hand, how much you can potentially win. Flop 10-4-3,
Play 4
2
check.
clubs.
Check.
Annette would have made top pair, but she folded. Zygmunt with the best of it right now with the Snowmen.
Annette,
Benjamin's got the betting lead. He was the pre-flop aggressor.
he's got the whip, especially with one overcard. But I'll tell you right now, Zygmunt's not the kind of player with only one card out there to not make this call if David Benjamin does lead this flop. I think Zygmunt would definitely call here.
Pot 18,000. Benjamin's
Check.
going to check.
Check or bet?
I think it's a smart check by David Benjamin. He's not really running up the white flag. He's not saying I surrender, but at the same time he's saying, okay, that's a disjointed flop. There's a good chance that he knows I'm on big cards, but that might not have fit my hand. I actually like this, especially against the aggressive Finnish player.
10.
And a check.
Bet.
Turn is another 10. And that's now kicking herself. That would have been trip 10s for her.
Especially with the check flop. It would have been a very, very good turn card for Annette Oberstad's hand. Well, now it wouldn't make any sense to me if David Benjamin led this pot here on the turn.
Bet. 9,000.
I'm really surprised. He's not telling a very
9,000
consistent
to call.
story. So many times in poker, it's the story that you tell.
Well, is there a chance that he thinks he has the best hand? I mean, is there a chance? I mean, remember, Zygmunt, who sometimes will call lightly, is there a chance that Zygmunt's got King-Jack?
Well, here's the problem. By leading this turn card, even if he thinks he has the best hand right here, he can only be called by a hand that beats him.
Call.
And Zygmunt does call, and you're right.
Oh.
You can only beat him.
Well, that was bingo.
Now Zygmunt, if he wasn't sure if he was ahead before, he's pretty sure now.
Check. Check or bet?
He's got to make a real odd bet to get paid off here. It's got to basically
Overbet the pot?
overbet or drastically value bet.
Yeah, we've seen this from Zygmunt, though. We've seen the
Like
overbet.
12,000, like a third of the pot. It's got to do one or the other to get this hand paid off. But I would think, knowing how Zygmunt plays, we're more likely to see
Bet 100,000.
we're more likely to see an overbet.
We knew it. You knew it was coming.
Wow.
You
Well,
knew the overbet was coming. And Zygmunt does this with his bluffs. He does this with his made hands. It's one of the reasons he's so dangerous.
Speaking of overbets, there was 36,000 in this pot. Now there's 136,000. Wow. Of course, David Benjamin only has 43,000 left. I like it from Zygmunt's side of the felt.
Right, effectively the bet's only 43,000.
That's correct.
But it just looks so odd because most players go, if you had a made hand, wouldn't you want to get paid off? That's the conventional thinking. Zygmunt goes the other way around and he goes, you know what? That's what you're thinking, so I'm going to do this instead.
Yep. He's definitely an unconventional player, but I'll tell you what, his style of play works. He could definitely be on a broken flush draw right here. He could have a club draw. David Benjamin might try to make a hero call here.
He could have 6 high. He could have 5-6. I mean, you think of all the hands he could have right now.
Easily could be on a bluff. I think there's actually over 50% chance that David Benjamin's going to pay this off. And I can't say that if I'm David Benjamin that I fault him exactly. It's kind of a tough spot. I bet David Benjamin wishes he didn't make that turn bet, because the turn bet is what's really got him in a perplexed state right now.
Ivy watching on. There's the call.
Interested? Yep.
There's the call from Benjamin.
I thought he might get paid off here, and he does.
Full house.
And I think Benjamin knew it. Benjamin said, you know what, you've got a monster or you got nothing at all.
It had to be one or the other. Yeah. I can't really fault David Benjamin for that.
Huge pot. And it goes to Zygmunt, 122,800.
Nice hand. Thanks.
And Benjamin's going to have to rebuy. He has been felted. And he makes the signal. Is that for 100,000 or 1 million? You never know with David Benjamin.
Yeah, with this crowd, you never know.
David Benjamin down 100,000. Patrick Antonius down 93.8. Oberstad